it's Dr. Rob Kelly. Welcome to the Addiction Show, or the Breaking Through Addiction. Any kind of addiction, whether it be love addiction, gym addiction, alcohol, drugs, trauma addiction. Some people are addicted to trauma, would you believe? They're the guys in the office, guys, who turn up and need to be in drama all of the time. I'm sure somebody knows somebody out there that's doing that, and that's because of their trauma. They've not worked or been helped through the trauma, so they need to have chaos around them. They need to cause them arguments. They need to cause trouble wherever they are, because then they feel at the happiest place. Because you go back to the childhood bringing up and the caregivers, and you'll find that in the house it was dysfunctional. So because it was dysfunctional, that's the way they grow up. So let's take the woman, for instance, as a child, 9, 10, 11, 12 even, when they see violence in their home, especially dad gets drunk, hits mom, they learn to recognize the key in the door. And if it scratches a little bit because they can't get the key in properly, then they know there's going to be trouble that night. So their defense system takes them away to the bedroom or hides. When dad puts the key in straight away, they know it's going to be a great dad, and they've got the dad that they love. Simple, right? But to correlate the both as an adult, you can't do. So let's have a look what we got today. Courtney Davis is our producer, 214-566-1882. If you want to be on the show, guys, just jump on. Don't forget the books are out there on Amazon. Every $9 will definitely go through to giving back every single year. And talking about giving back, guys, the Rob Kelly Foundation is up and going. Jackie 210-502-9578. I don't care if you donate $1. We're going to change the world with this foundation. We're going to build a 100-bed rehab center and trauma center, half paid, half free. So we get the guys and they help the guys that can't afford, just like me when I was homeless, they can't afford to be in that place where they can get help. And that's what I want to stop. We want to stop that stuff straight away because, you know, I nearly died because I didn't get help. So we never want to be a person who does that. We always want to be able to reach out and help. And LB and my wife give $150,000 out of our own pocket away each year to make sure that we give back. So the book and all the t-shirts and everything, Courtney runs that. That also, the money goes straight into a pot that also goes out, records to prove that, by the way. We don't take a dime out of it. Because you always hear, don't you, buy this book and the profits go to. That's how everybody's taking expenses out and all that stuff. The full $9 goes out there to the community. And if you buy the book on Amazon and you hate it, text me, I'll refund your money. Just give it to someone who you think might enjoy it. So what have I done this week, guys? Not a lot. I've been busy working. We did a convention at the weekend. Very, very successful, the convention. So we're just chilling from there. We're off to Las Vegas next week. We're going to do a huge radio podcast and TV thing with a guy called Eric Worre. Such an amazing guy, almost a billionaire, teaches other marketers how to make lots of money. And he's the real deal. You know, sometimes I see people out there and they're going, here's how to be a millionaire. And repeat, everyone wants to be a millionaire. And then if you carefully watch him, and there's nothing wrong with this, I did it. You go outside, he's got a 20-year-old car, drives back to the project, and yet he's trying to teach me how to become a millionaire. Doesn't wash, Jimmy. If you're trying to be where you've got to be, then you have to go to the people who's already done it. Hence, if you want what I have, you have to do what I do. Yeah, and you get it. Who's on the show? Oh, I can almost hear it. Who's on the show today, Rob? Well, hang on a sec. Let me see. Lolita. Whoa. Hey, Lolita. Great to see you. Great meeting you again at the convention. Sorry I had to slip away so quickly, but we will meet again very soon, no doubt. Okay, so who's on the show today? Well, Dusty is on the show, Dusty Ann Simmons. Some of you may know her from my Facebook and other stuff that you've done, guys. Some great stuff she's done. She's a great person. She loves horses. I love anybody that loves horses. And I asked her to be on the show for me today to bring her stuff. She's gone through addiction. She had a baby and didn't even know she was pregnant. Horrific story when you're listening from out of how this girl's still surviving. And I know today she spends a lot of time helping other people, other women going through, like we all do, what she's been through. So there's going to be a book out shortly, no doubt. I'm going to keep jumping on her head and making sure she does it. Fantastic girl, Dusty Ann Simmons will be on the show right after this, guys. Welcome back, guys. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly. This is Breaking Through Addiction, and the guest today is none less than Dusty Ann Simmons. How are you, Dusty?
I'm great. Thank you. First off, thank you for allowing me to be here today to share my story and to just inspire other people. What you do is amazing. I love your drive. I love watching you just create magic, and you're giving so many people hope. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
Boom! Hope all the time. Let me tell you something, guys, before we get into the questioning with Dusty, because I can't wait that you can do anything you want, and you can be anyone you want to be, including yourself who's successful. There's teachings out there, especially from me, people like Brian Covey. It's just amazing. Just amazing at teaching this stuff. You get the right advice from the right people, and there's no limit. I mean, you've got to stop putting the brakes on your imagination. You know, where you want to be is where you can be. Quantum physics backs this up with us. So listen, guys, if you're thinking you can't, you're wrong. And if you still think you can't, I want to apologize to you, because somebody's put that there. Somebody's put that there in your head. We're born with two fears: falling and loud noises. The rest is man-made. Hey, Dusty, you can't do that. Hey, you can't do this. It's like, shut up. Of course I can. All right, Dusty, what are you up to? Tell everybody who you are.
Oh, what am I up to? Man, I'm just living life as the beautiful outlaw. I was given that a few years ago by God. It just came to me, and that's what I'm doing. I'm creating this to help women, because I know what it's like to not like the person in the mirror. Not even look in the mirror to brush my own teeth or do my hair. Like, I know what that feels like. And I know what it feels like when everybody says you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you'll never be enough of that. Or they're jealous of you, and so they push you down. And then you take all those words and you make it your own, right? Yeah. So now I'm helping women release it and make it fun in different ways, and creating experiences so women just fall in love with the person in the mirror. So they're like, I can do what I want to do. You can either come along on the ride, or I'll see you later. There's the door. And not in a mean way. You can do it in a way that's full of love, but a love that you love yourself still, right? So that's what I'm up to.
Good. I love that. Two kinds of people in this world, guys. People that don't like you because they're jealous, and people that want to be you. You'll never get a hater doing better than you. You know, so when we look at that, it's like, yeah, come on, Dusty, let's go. We can do this. Let me take you back real quick, because we've cut our show down to 20 minutes. That's the kind of the break we get of people paying attention and being able to put it in between coffee breaks and stuff. So let me get straight into it. I know you suffered from addiction, because we chatted about that, but talk me through what that looked like and kind of what age that was.
Oh man, I guess, like, if you really think about it, I believe the addiction really kind of started with addiction to just not thinking I'm good enough. So addiction of like men who were not really, actually, they were out of my league. They were below my league, right? So like I was with these men and I was settling with them. And so that abuse, because I believed that, hey, that's what I deserved. And I stayed with it. Like that's what I picked out. I wasn't going to go with someone who was good, because I didn't deserve the good stuff. So I was really addicted to that. And it just kind of took its toll on me. You know, I'm one of 12 coach trainers in the entire nation selected for a challenge, and I'm allowing a man to control what I do and say, and I don't get to go. I get to lose everything. And so I ended up moving to Kansas, and bounced around there, still doing the same thing with addicted to men lower than my status, and, you know, playing small and holding back. Like, I really do feel like that was my addiction to begin with. I like that chaos. I like that. I felt safe there. And then, so I moved to Oklahoma, and I actually got into meth. I thought, well, you know, hey, it's just kind of like we're doing it for fun. I wasn't drinking. I was just like, that was kind of a fun thing. And so it kind of fast forward, and it got progressively. And I realized that not only could it just be like a fun party bump, basically, a lot of the guys I was roping with and stuff were using it as well. And I mean, they were competing well. You would never know if you didn't know, right? And then, so we fast forward, and it became a part of my like everyday life, pretty much. It's how I handle the struggle and everything.
Yeah, crazy how it takes off and just runs with it. It's just, let me just go over quickly, because this is some of the stuff we specialize in with rewiring brains. Is, you know, that 8 or that 7 or 6, wherever you are, will always try and attract a 3, 4, or 5. because it's the rejection part. So I did it for a long time when I started to get wealthy and successful and TV and everything, is I still wanted to mix with these guys, and it doesn't work. I had to let a lot of these people go throughout my life. So now instead of, you know, going down to the 4 or 3, I'm going up to the 9s and 10s, because that's where I belong. But my belief system is I'm not good enough. My belief system is, you know, I'll never be perfect. I'll never be this. I'll never be rich enough, blonde enough, thin enough, or tall enough is what it is. So where did the whole meth thing and addiction take you, and how did you stop?
Oh, man. So it just took me to a place of not loving myself. Like, there was good and bad parts. Like, I mean, there was a lot of healing in between there, but then at the same time, I'd hit. So long story short, we'll just go to the fall of 2017. It took me to a place of where, guys, I planned my exit strategy. I didn't like myself that much, to the point of I planned on how to take my horse and myself straight out of this world, because I didn't want anybody to be responsible for what mine. I didn't want my horse to suffer being left behind. So it was kind of like a plan of like, if I do this, I can, you know, make him run off the cliff and break his neck, break my neck, basically. So it kind of solves all problems, because I didn't want him to suffer, and I just want people would kind of understand a little bit more. Wouldn't hurt as much if it was a horse accident, right? And so I actually planned to end it all. So like the Thanksgiving, like the Friday after Thanksgiving, I was going to attempt to go through with Thanksgiving. We'll see how that went. And the weekend before Thanksgiving, I was sick and I hadn't been using. But I did use that Sunday because I was sick. I had no energy and I needed to go help train mules and stuff. And so I was getting all this hate stuff, and I was like, no, like, I don't feel good, right? So I don't trust myself. I'm like, okay, I got to push through it. I got to do this. And then when I get done with it, training mules that night, I'm like jumping and jabbing, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just pulled my back out. Because I don't trust myself at this point. I hate myself. Like, whatever, something's wrong. God's paying me, but whatever it may be, right? Well, guess what? It turns out I was actually in labor. So I'm in the shower, and I delivered a baby boy in the shower at 2:08 in the morning, exact same time I was born, 10 days after my birthday, 10 days before his dad's birthday. But I mean, 2:08 in the morning. So, I mean, I trained horses. I'd been training horses. I didn't stop. And that's where my addiction stopped. That's where it stopped. A light switch went off. On as soon as I had him. I mean, I was holding him like, what is this? What do I do? Because I'm in the shower and I was texting. Like, you can't make this stuff up. That show, like, maybe I should have been on that show. But I was like, and, you know, but as soon as I put that little boy up to my chest, I knew, like, my life was different. I did have to fight because luckily my son was 100% clean. His umbilical cord, his all that kind of stuff that they did was perfectly clean. He's great. He's thriving. He's 5 years old. Great. Myself, I don't know how, but I only popped hot on one of my two, like my blood or my, urine. One popped hot, one didn't. But I did go through all the hoops that they asked me through DHS. I breastfed. I did everything. Like, I will jump through whatever you want me to do. But that started the journey. And it was another year before crisis really happened, when I had another son and he passed away, to where I put this work in. And so here we are 5 years later, and I'm just like, you know what? Addiction didn't happen like really to me. It happened for me, because without that addiction, without a kid in the shower, without losing another child, guess what? I would have never looked myself in the mirror and looked at my core reasons. And you want to know what my core reason was? I didn't love Dusty. So now I get to teach other people to love themselves, because I know what it feels like.
Huge to love yourself. You know, if I don't love myself, how can I love anybody else? We ask every patient that we have and friends to do what we call mirror work, stare in the mirror every morning, say, I love you 10 times, looking yourself in the eye. And we're trying to get a subconscious brain full of good stuff instead of the trauma and the bad stuff that it tells us today. You know, everything. My mind used to tell me to self-sabotage any single time I could, because I never thought I was good enough. And then when I did get to a place that I should be, the imposter syndrome came in, because I come from the projects. I come from a household where, you know, lots of love, but not a lot of money. We couldn't afford to go on trips, you know, not even in the UK, not even to the local beach. I mean, we were poor, you know, so coming from there to where I am, there's a huge difference. But lots of trauma happened. But I didn't realize at the time it was trauma. So like, 20 years later or 30 years later, I'm seeing a therapist, still see one today to go over my stuff. And she pointed out that because this did that. Oh my God, I can't believe that, but it's so true. So what do you do today? Tell everyone what you do today. That's so cool.
What do I do today? Oh man. So I am creating the Beautiful Outlaw Way and Academy. So like I'm helping women become their beautiful outlaw self. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but let's think about it. Outlaws do things different. That doesn't mean you got to break the rules and like go to jail or whatever. Like, you think an outlaw. No, you break the rules of society. You are you and you get to do you. Beautiful. Every woman is beautiful. They each bring a unique just gift to the world. So it's just embracing who you are. And guys, I got to do it with horses. I use horses who have their own trauma story, who have been through it. My number one rodeo horse is actually like, guys, she's got battle wounds and her story is amazing. And people get to watch her. And I've done social studies with her, actually, with people that watched me take her just to get her ready for different things. And they're like, Dusty's going to die. Like straight up on the social study, someone wrote, Dusty's going to die. She's crazy. She'll never be worth anything. But you want to know what's awesome? When I asked them what they thought about her in the beginning, and then I asked them what they thought about her in the end, they're like, she's your partner. She's your partner. But I took it to the next level and I asked them, what do people say about you that you wish they knew differently? Or what do you wish people would know about you? You want to know what's funny? Is they were parallels. Yeah. She's crazy. She's a bitch. She do anything for anybody, right? Same thing with my horse, right? And so now I use that in a safe place. I get to help women fall in love with themselves, get pretty much pampered, do fun work. I do release parties. Those are my favorite things. That's my goal, is to go to corporate and events to do release parties, because you can bust things, like the smash rooms, but a traveling one. So you make it fun. So that's what I do.
Beautiful. Love it. Cameron, good to see you, man. Tracy, always good to see you. Tanya, thanks for the comments. Thank you for sharing your story, Dusty. She says, being a great mom, I'm so proud, capital letters, of you. Who else we got? Navita King, or Navita King. I looked great meeting you last week. Thanks for joining the show. Quick shout out to Lolita over there in Houston. And of course, Brian Covey, Helen Bratton. Great to see you again, Helen. Where did we go? We separated somehow. And of course, my BFF is over in California, Angie Manson. Great to see you today, guys. Record ratings today, would you believe, as I'm looking at it. So, words of wisdom for anybody that wants to start loving himself and wants to get into some kind of group setting. How do they do that?
Oh, man. Words of wisdom to start loving yourself to begin with is know whatever is inside of you was put inside of you on purpose. Just remember, your hair, your fingerprint is unique, right? So if your physical body is unique to you, and you might have to remind yourself of this over and over again, but do you think if your physical body is that unique to you, do you not think that your purpose is just as unique and powerful? Your physical body is so unique that your DNA is unique to you. So if the universe and God put that much into you, do you not think your purpose is even more? So when everyone else is doubting you and you're doubting yourself, just remember, look down at your palm, look down at your finger, look at your hair and go, nobody else has the same DNA as me. Nobody has that same purpose as me. And sometimes that's hard to believe, but it's the best thing you can do. On group settings, I mean, man, there's different ones. First and foremost, always find a group of people that relate to you. I have a Outlaw Tribe Facebook group, and it's full of people that relate to me. So find people that relate to you. Don't just say, oh, well, I think I want that person because everyone else thinks they're cool. Well, if they're not helping you kind of see, we all have different glasses, right? If I was to put Dr. Rob's glasses on, I probably couldn't see, right? But if he put my glasses on, he probably couldn't see right either. That's the same thing with life. So remember, you're wearing your prescription. I'm wearing mine. So find people that relate to you. I'll support you any way you want because it's fun. But remember, always find people that relate to you and that are above you, that are doing what you want to do. You got to reach up. You can't reach down. You're only reaching down to help somebody. You're not going to get help from somebody by reaching down. You reach up for help. You reach down to be helped.
Yes, I love that. Where can we find you, Dusty? Where can we find you?
Oh, guys, you can find me all over social media at The Beautiful Outlaw. My Facebook is just, Facebook Beautiful Outlaw. Instagram and TikTok is The Beautiful Outlaw. And then my Facebook group is The Beautiful Tribe.
I love it. I want to thank you, Dusty, for coming on. I know we chatted in our 50-minute coffee break, which is absolutely amazing. I just love you and adore you. I love what you do. I love what you're about. You're the real deal. And of course, hundreds of thousands of people you're helping with a ripple effect. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure speaking with you, believe it or not. And let's talk real soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great show, guys. I like that. Emilio, good to see you, my man. Wolfie, always great to see you. Love that smile. I'm smiling all the time. Thank you so for joining us today, guys. Again, just a few mentions about the foundation is out there. Courtney's out there waiting for you if you want to donate, whether it's $1 or 1 million. It's all gratefully received as we're on a mission to change more childhood trauma and addiction rather than just addiction. Now it kind of steps into a lot more than just alcoholism and addiction that we used to deal with. We're broadening our horizons. It's funny, I'm looking over to the whiteboard at the moment, and I only take on 5 patients at any one time, as some of you guys know, and 4 of them non-alcoholic or drugs, just can't get on with life, want to improve their life. All goes back to childhood trauma. Once we clear that, we set ourselves free from the bondage of self, the bondage of blocking us in our mind that we can't go any further. Have a fantastic, just make sure in the comments I've not missed anybody out. Tanya, thank you. Lolita, thank you. Navita King, Emilio, great to see you. Raul, yeah, awesome. I think I've got everybody in, guys. Next week, we have a special new guest on. Can't tell you who it is, but we'll be here same time, around 1 o'clock Central Time. We're going to be here. Again, if you want to be on the show, phone Courtney, 214-566-1882, and she will get you on the show. It'll be great to speak to you. And remember a couple of things, guys. First of all, everybody has a story. So if you're sat home thinking, oh, I could never go on that show, I've not got enough to say, believe me when I tell you that your unique story will help hundreds of people. Believe me, because we all go through this stuff here to make sure we get here. So what we think is our baggage and our horrible stuff we drag, actually the past here becomes our greatest asset going forward, because God takes us through this. And the reason why it takes you through this, I always say my homelessness was like a semester at Harvard, because you're going to need that going forward. When somebody comes to you and go, yeah, but you don't understand, Rob. You've never been homeless. Check. You never had your kids taken off you. Check. You've never been stabbed and beaten. Check. You got all them checks because God brought you through. So if you've been through this rough time, guys, believe me, you've been chosen. That's all it is. It's not woe me, woe me. No, you've been chosen. Do the studying. Go and help people. Do the homework. Do the semester at Harvard. Then go and help somebody. Because you can't help somebody if you haven't gone through it yourself. So I was trying to get a counselor when I moved to San Antonio, and I went to see a few, but I wanted the same mindset as me, because alcoholics think different than other people. So I would go in the counselor and say, hey, I need help. Can you help me? They go, yeah, no problems. And I would say to them, hey, have you, hey, Jamie, good to see you, girl. Have you been through any alcoholism addiction yourself? And someone's like, no. So you can't help me. And one said, yeah, but I have a PhD in counseling. And I said, here's the scenario. You've got a bottle of vodka behind you with your hands top behind, and you're saying to me, I can't get it. I will stab you in the face repeatedly until I get that drink. And she freaked out. And I said, you see what? And she went, oh my God. Went to another counselor a couple of days ago, and I said the same thing. I was stabbing in the face until I got my drink. And he replied, oh my God, I'll do the same to you. There's my guy. There's my guy. Get on the same people. Surround yourself with people that are better than you. If you want to earn 60,000, you're only earning 30. Hang around the guys that earn 60,000. If I hang around 9 successful people, I will become the 10th. But guess what? If I hang around 9 depressed people, I will become the 10th. It's human learned mirroring part of the brain behavior is what it is. You can't help it. You can't help hang the guys that mum and dad said you should hang with. So I grew up on the projects, so council estate projects in England, and that was supposed to be my life. I was supposed to get the next free house that the government pays for, have a couple of children, and go on with my life. But I wasn't ready for that. I was ready for bigger things, and that's where we go. Again, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a fantastic week. Step out of your comfort zone today. Compliment 3 people today. And don't forget the I love yous in the mirror. Take care, guys. We'll see you at the same time next week.